Hello everyone, welcome once again to another Power BI related tutorial by Team Slidescope. In this part, we are here with a very interesting project. In this project, you can see files are given, the dataset files are given as Excel, XML, Microsoft, Access. So you can see some files are XML, some are AccessDB, some are Excel. So I will teach you how to load them. Then we will create at least 20 measures like this. So what is year to date total sales, year to date car sold, year to date average price, year to date sales, etc. Sales difference. Even these colors are dynamic, so sales difference color will be dynamic. So you can see here measures for this month to date average price. I will explain meaning of everything that I am mentioning here. We'll learn how to create this calendar table, how to create this simple models to link everything together, and then create a simple interactive dashboard like this, where if you will select a year, you can see values changing. If you will select a particular month, you can see values changing. Then you also have the car colors, like cars are either pale white, black or red. We have different companies, so company wise sales can be analyzed. What is the meaning of this chart? What is the meaning of this Sankey chart? This is an additional chart which we are going to import from Microsoft app source. So this Sankey chart, so some additional charts will be added in the visual. Everything is very useful for beginners. So, and this is a project where we will have 5 parts. In first part, we are going to solve all these questions and more. So let's get started with this part. Start learning with this part. So first of all, it is very important to understand in this project how files are given. So I have kept all the files in this tutorial folder, and here you can see what we have: some Excel files, one MS Access DB, one XML file, and let's see these files. So this one is car SQL.xlx, and here you can see. So this is basically an extract from SQL Server, where we have car ID, dealer name, dealer number, and region of the dealer. Next, we have car sales. So this is the car sales, where we also have the car ID, and we have date, customer names. This is a main file where actually the sales of these cars are happening. So this one is the most important file for us. Then we have the car.xl file, where we will have information of these cars with the help of car ID, that on which particular date, what engine or transmission or color do they have, and we also have information of their pricing. And we have one AccessDB file. So now what we'll do, we'll open Power BI, and one by one we will connect these files. To connect, because these files are from different origins, first we will connect the Excel workbooks. So when you will connect the Excel workbook, it will first open this car sql.xl file, and all these files were along with Power BI. It was available on a GitHub URL. I will provide that GitHub URL in the description as well. So first we will connect this file, and in this file you will be able to see that there is one sheet. So first we can see, and now you can see it is not allowing, like the column headers are wrong. So we will go to transform data, and in transform data we will use first row as header. Once you will use first row as header, you will be able to see that now it is properly visible. We'll close and apply, and all rows will be closed, and we will rename it as car underscore SQL. Now we will go to home tab again click this, and this time we will open the car.xl file, Here also we have one sheet where we have car ID, date, etc. So here everything seems fine. So let's load it as sheet 1. You can also name it as car if needed. So now we have one car SQL, one sheet, which will be important sheet for us because it has body, style, car ID, everything. So next, so now you can see some information of the car is available here, like ID, date, engine, its price, body type, phone, etc. And some detail about the car, like dealer name, dealer number, and dealer region are available here, and they will be joined using car ID. If you will see the model view now, you will be able to see that in these two tables it will be joined. Okay, so now we have these two tables with us. Next is we will load the access file. So here we will, when you go to get data, you can search access. So we'll be able to search AccessDB, and here you can see actually in the data set AccessDB is given. So once we will connect the AccessDB, you will be able to see now that this car underscore access is given, and here the company and model of the car are given. Okay, so now you can see with the help of car ID, you can understand. If we go to table view, with the help of car ID, we are able to understand the dealer name, dealer region. We are able to understand what type of body, transmission, color, price, everything is. And with the help of this Excel file, access file, we are able to see the company and model. Okay, so you can see all this information is very important, and these are all very important factors that will help us in analyzing the data. Now we have loaded these, and finally we have one XML file. So if you go to more and you search XML here, you will be able to see that we are connecting one XML file also, and this is car db XML file, which when you load, you will be able to see this has car ID, customer name, gender, and the annual income generated by this car. Okay, so it's like some dealer value or value. So like for this car, for gender, what is the annual income? So this represents some customer demographic info. So this is important, and now we can load this file, and this will load the XML file for us. So now we have this file where we have the ID, name, gender, annual income, we have access, SQL sheet, etc. And actually in annual income, not car, but annual income of this customer. Sorry if I said that. So this is basically customer demographic info, where it is showing that this car ID owned by this customer, their gender, and their annual income. So we can understand which customer has which type of car and based on its annual income. So this particular file, the file which is sheet 1, this is our car sales table, where, or the sales transaction table, where you can see car ID, type of engine, transmission, color sold, at what sales price it was sold, its body type, and phone number of maybe dealer or customer. So this is now the connections that we have made. Like, so now we have connected all the tables, and you will be able to see in your model that these files will now be connected together, and you will be able to see the model. So now we will start analyzing the data. So this particular data set or this particular dashboard series will be in multiple parts. This is part 1, and actually we will cover 5 parts. And in part 1, so we have these questions. So after connecting the file, what is YTD total sales, what is MTD total sales, as you saw in the project introduction. So now to answer these questions, what we'll do, we will simply start building some dashboard here. So first of all, we will insert here, and we'll insert a text box quickly. So I have given a very long name, but it's just for everyone to understand what we are doing in this project. The USA car sales analysis Excel, XML and access files we are doing with them. So sales overview part 1, and here we will use 28 or maybe 24 as font size, make it bold, and here we can use some color. So let's use this one, and later we are going to change it. Next is we can go to effects and quickly enable shadow so that it will be good for us. Next, this sidebar, as we have done so far, we use it for creating different type of filters. So we will use that here. And if you want, you can select the canvas background, and in canvas background we can actually select a background color that we can use like this. We also have view here. In the view we can select any other dashboard theme here. So for example, we can go with this theme also, and here you will be able to see that now we have a different color palette, so we can select the font from there. Next we will go to insert. I know it may be taking some time, like we are taking a lot of time in designing and connecting, but this is the first part, that's why it's taking time. So if you want, you can skip a little bit, or if you want to keep doing the things as I am doing, so you can, you know, just keep repeating whatever I am doing in one side. So now this will be our filter, where this will be our area where we will keep our filters. And so now this is one thing, and here we will use page navigation. I will show you how to use that. Since the project is about car sales, you can see we can use Canva or any other tool to actually create some image. So, and we can actually insert one image here, and we can select that image that we just imported and just use it on top to represent what we are doing. And if you want, you can give some additional rounded corners in visual border, so that's your choice, as like if you want to. Now we will start solving part 1. Like, first is what is YTD, total sales, and then we'll calculate MTD and so on. So to keep all these files clean, and we will create another table here in modeling tab, and we can call it measure tables or measures table. It will be empty. So whenever we have to create these time intelligence functions, we always create a date table. So without date table, this white year to date, month to date, or let's say same period last year, these type of calculations will be very difficult. So first we have to create another table. So in modeling we will go and create a new table, and this table will be called date table, or we can also call it the calendar table. So here you can see it will be the calendar table, and in calendar table you will select minimum of sheet 1, which is our main sales sheet. So whatever is the minimum sales date, so whatever is the minimum date, that will be start date of the calendar table, and whatever is the maximum date will be the end date. So because in calendar function it asks for start date and end date, so that's how you can call it, or sometimes you will call it simple date table also. So this is something that you will do. So what I'll do is I'll keep adding all the DAX that we will use, so that you can copy from here. Otherwise you can create it on your own as well. Next, after doing this, uh, because we have to do month to date, and we may have to represent month and quarter, etc. So we, in this table that is created here, we can add some calculated columns like month name or year, etc. So to do that, we will click new column. So right click on this table and name and create new column, and here we'll use month. So this is pretty standard format. We use format table, format function. In format function, you select a value, like we are selecting the date from this table, the date column, and from date column we are using formatting of 4M. So once you will run that, you will be able to see the month name here, like the complete month name. If you keep 3M here, you will see. So it will give you month name in a 3-letter format. So if you want all letters, you can just write 4M's here. Similarly, we can create week also. So we'll right click here, new column, and here we will write week number. So this will give us what week number is this, and next will be year. So we'll right click here, new column, and we will write year and run. So we can see in the data set we have 2 years, 22 and 23. So now our date table is prepared, and now we will try to answer the questions by creating YTD sales measures. See, if we have to create a simple KPI, so we can add a card here, and we can add this card somewhere in our visual, and in this card from the sheet we will add price. So whatever that sum will come will correspond to total sales. So 672 million. So easy way. But in order to answer questions like YTD, MTD and those kind of questions, we have to do some calculations. So as given in original sheet, YTD total sales will be, if you create a new measure, it will be total YTD. Total YTD is used to evaluate the specified expression over the interval which begins on the first day of the year and ends with the last date in the specified date column. So what we are doing, we are using total YTD function, and we are, as an expression, we are adding sheet 1 price. Let's say, just for your reference, if you rename this as sales, because this is given as sheet, you can also rename it as sales. So you will change it here, like you will call sales. Okay, so whatever name you want to keep, you can keep it here. So now you will generate YTD total sales, and this particular value can now be seen in here. So you can see 672 millions. It's coming same because here we are using calendar table. So in calendar table, whatever is the data, so we are using that data as YTD total sales. So in the card, we can now change it like this. Here what is done is, in callout value 20 font size is used, Sergio UI font is used. Color, you can select anything from the palette. Let's say you want to select, you can select this color also. You want to select, you can select this color, whatever color you want to go with. For this visual value, sorry, you can make it bold or not, but because this is already semi bold or bold, so you can see it has 4 different versions. So whatever version you want to go with, so let's go with semi bold. And then your category label is there. Category label is disabled, it basically appears below this. Okay, so this is disabled. And in title, we have written YTD total sales, and now from title we are going to show this value. In title also we can select a different color if needed. So this represents YTD total sales. Now what we can do, we can insert a shape here. This shape will help us in grouping different visuals. So for example, if I'm using shape like this, so yeah, this much will be good, because we have to tell YTD then MTD total sales. If you see the questions, we have to see total sales, average price, cars sold. So we have to create 3 such groups. So now you can see this shape is coming on top and our visual has gone behind. So we can select this, go to format and send backward or send to back. Then this value will be properly visible. So this is YTD total sales. One more thing we can do if needed, like we can go to title and we can make it bold so that it is properly visible. So now we have the YTD total sales. Similarly, we will calculate MTD total sales, which is the second question. What is the month to date? So like we have done total YTD, there are similar functions. So if I just write total, you will be able to see total MTD, total QTD. So that's how you can actually calculate them. So as we have calculated total YTD, we can also calculate total MTD. So YTD total sales, the only function difference will be total YTD here, and here it will be total MTD, and we can now create this. So in measure table we will create a new measure, and that will be MTD total sales, and run this, and this will calculate the month to date total sales value. And we can actually copy this data, and here we can mention that value, and we can change the title to MTD total sales. Now you can see both are coming same because obviously it's year difference. In the data it is 2022, and here it is uh, you know we here the month is different. And remember, whenever we are dealing with a calendar table or a date table like this, so never forget to go to model first of all, and in your calendar table there will be a date column, and in your main sales table there will be a date column. You have to create a relationship between them like this. So if you'll see the relation that in sheet date equal to calendar date, because that's how we have created it. And now once you will see, so now you will be able to see that your year to date value and month to date value are now different. So, and otherwise it will show you the total sum. Okay, so always remember this. Next, additionally, we can also try to create a previous year to date sales. So this will be the previous year to date total sales, where we will calculate sum of sales, and we will use the time intelligence function called same period last year, and in same period last year we will use the calendar tables date column. So this is how, and this is something we have done in more than 10 other videos. Like if you have to find out previous year total sales, so to find out you can create a new measure, and that will be previous year to date total sales, and now we can create that. So now these may be important metrics for us, so we can use a multi-row card, we can try to use, or we can also display it in a simple way. So if it is previous year to date total sales, so we can add a card visual here. We can add previous year to date total sales, and it is coming as 300 million in our case. Now what we can do, we can go here, call out value. Let's say we are using 14 pixel, maybe too small, let's say 18 pixel. Okay, and we can disable, or let's use it, and we can go to category label, and we can use 8 or 9 pixel. So this will be like this, and here we can go to general tab. In FX we can disable the background, and that's when we'll come back here and we can select some light color. And similarly for our category label also we can select some light color. So this will be previous year to date total sales, and if you actually want to display it here, so you can use that, and we can copy the same formatting and apply here. So this is month to date total sales. So year to date may be important for us, so we can keep it like this. So this will be previous year to date, this one will be month to date total sales. And actually this is all going to change, I will tell you why. And next what we can do, we can find out the sales difference. Whatever is year to date total sales minus previous year to date total sales, so this will be the sales difference, and we can actually create another copy here. Right now I'm just using these copies to see these values. Later uh, we will keep only important measures, and this is the sales difference which is 71 million. And if you can actually go here in call out value, you can see display units, you can use none or 1000 or whatever you want to use here. So in the sheet, one very important and useful thing was given, that um, sales different color. So if sales difference value is greater than 0, green color, otherwise red color, because negative values will be displayed with red color. So this will be the sales difference color. So it will either output green or it will either output red, totally depending upon value. So suppose we want to give color to this measure, that if it is positive, show it as a green, if it is negative, show it as a red. So we'll go here, call out value, we selected something, but here we'll go with fx. So now it is showing, you want to show gradient or rule, and we are saying sales difference. So in measure table, we'll try to select the sales difference color, and if it is green, then select your green. Let's say if it is green, we will go with a very bright green, and new rule. If it is red, so we can go with some kind of red that we have. Let's say this one, and let's click OK. So now you can see it is being shown as a green color. And in the similar way, we can also create YOY sales growth, that is year over year sales growth, sales difference divided by previous year to total sales, whatever that value is, and to show that value as a percentage. So whatever YOY sales growth value will be, we will select it as a percentage. So now you can see I have simply arranged that, and we will copy this, and all of them have actually the same color scheme that we have applied. So it will copy it with the same color scheme, and here we will write y sales growth, and it is showing this. Let me correct this, and because it was a unit problem, now as we have created YOY sales, we have created MTD, everything. So now similarly we have to do it for average price, month to date average price, and year over year average price growth. So whatever values are calculated here, same thing we have to do, but we have to repeat it for average price. This is total price, we have to repeat it for average price. So first, in order to find the average price, we will create a new measure called average price here, and that will be sum of price divided by count of car and car ID. So once you will do this, you will be able to see that it is now showing us the average price. Okay, and this average price is not the total average price. Obviously, if you will simply copy it and replace it to see the value, you will be able to see that it is showing 28.09. This is the average price. How is it calculated? So you are adding total price in your main sales sheet, and then you are counting how many total cars are there. So so this is counting car ID or unique car IDs. So in this table we have the unique car IDs. So if you see, that particular table has unique car IDs, and that's why that number with which we are dividing it is actually giving us unique number of car IDs, and that's why we are finding out average value. Now average price, after calculating average price, what we have to do, we have to create a new measure for total value. So year to date average price will be average price, and in your calendar table that we have created, we will select the date column. So this will give us average price. What we are going to do, we can copy this entire thing, entire group, and we can paste it here and make a copy of it. Similarly, we can paste another copy and we will add, because we have to answer 3 different questions and we can now adjust their positions. So this will be our like here we have YTD total sales. So now we can add YTD average price, and that value is there, but heading we have to change. So this will be YTD average sales or average price of a car. Actually, that's what we have to answer. So this is YTD average price. Similarly, in the same fashion, we can create total MTD average price. So here we are using average price month to date, and that is something we can calculate like this. And wherever you have your month to date value, so you will just replace this and you will share your month to date average price. Obviously, because the average price in millions will not be a good idea, so we will just share the display units maybe in thousands. Okay, so that will be good. Now we have created these two. Now we have to find out the differences also, and as we calculated the previous year to date total sales, so we can find out these values as well. So as we use the same period last year function, we will use calculate average price but with the help of same period last year. Once you will do that, so it will calculate previous year to date average price, which we can replace here. And remember, in average price, every time you have to select the call out value as thousands, because average value will not exceed. So month to date average price of cars, what is total average price, like on the basis of sales. What we can do here, we can add a slicer. So in these slicers, we can actually add some year and month. So for example, here we can select year, and now you can see, so either we can select 22 or 23. So because it's a single value, so we can just select drop down for it. And for year this, you can see for year 2022, for year 2023, what are these values. So you can see it year wise, or you can see it for entire data. Okay, similarly as we have done for year, so one thing we can do, we can style it in a way. So in our effects, we can disable background. In visual slicer header, we can use some font color that is properly visible, and for values also we can select a font color, and background we can disable. So, or you can see background is like this, so we can use the same dark background. So now you can see, you will be able to select the value and it will change the data accordingly. Here one more thing I'll do is, I will simply go to general effects, I'll enable visual border and select some color. So now we have the data. Let's copy and paste, and after copying and pasting we have year, and as we did for year, we can now add month also. Remember, we created the month table. So if we select December, if we select February, so you will be able to see everything according to that month as well. So these filters are very important for overall analysis. Very quickly we will calculate average price difference also between the year to date price and month to date price. So this will be average price difference. So as we calculate a sales difference, we'll just replace it with average price difference. Again, we'll change it back to thousands. So now you can see it should have been green, but it is appearing as it should have been red. It is appearing as a green value even though it's in negative. So because when we created sales difference, whatever logic of color we applied on the basis of sales difference value. Okay, so in the similar way, we have to calculate average price difference also. So we will create a new measure here, and that new measure will be average price difference color, and that average price difference color is that if average price difference is greater than 0, then show as red, otherwise show as a, if it is greater than 0, then show in a green way, otherwise show as a red. And now for these visuals, okay, whatever these visuals are, so if the conditional formatting color is applied, so that will be applied on the basis of average price difference. So if and once we are selecting this, so if average price difference value, so now you can see, oh sorry, average price difference color. So if so now this will be like that. So if you select, now it will come as a red color, so you will be able to understand that yes, it is a difference. Similarly, we have to apply everywhere. Okay, so whatever logic is applied here, we will simply copy formatter and apply here. So month to date average price will also become like that, and it's your choice if you want to apply it there or not. But obviously year over year sales growth is something, and average price difference is something where we have to apply this. And as we created year over year sales, we have to create year over year average price growth, so which will be calculated with average price difference divided by previous year to date average price. Once you will do that, now you will be able to see year over year price, and now we can simply add it here, and we can apply the same logic here. Now this should show as a percentage first of all. So here, because it's a percentage value, so we'll say none. Okay, and this should show as a percentage value, so we have to go here as we did in previous part, and we have to select it as a percentage with 2 decimals. So now you can see minus 0.79%. So this is how it will differ, and maybe month to month it will change. So now you can see it dynamic also. In case of January month, year to date total sales and year to date average price of cars is 26, but you can see average price difference between month to date and year to date, and year over year growth, like comparing it with previous year. That's how it is going to be. So we have solved these questions. Now we have to find year to date cars sold, like how many cars are sold year to date. So we will create a measure, and year to date car sales will be total YTD, and here we will count total number of car IDs that are there, and the filter for total YTD is going to be, or whatever dates we are selecting is going to be the calendar table date. And once you will do that, so you will be able to find this value. So here we have to find YTD cars sold, and YTD cars sold are 13,000 cars. So here we will write YTD cars sold, how many cars are sold year to date. And in the similar way, now we have to create Y2, like previous year total cars. So like this calculated previous year total sales. So here we use sum, but in this case we are going to use count. So we can simply create a new measure, and previous year to date cars sold. So I am adding most of them so that you can copy, and you will be able to do it on your own. So this is question number 1, this is 2, and this is third. So for third it starts from here. Okay, so 3. So I will rename and rearrange them, but this is how you will start the measurement. So this is PYTD cars sold, and don't forget to put them here. So obviously PYTD cars sold, we will just add it here, and again we have to change this. 11,000 previous year and 13,000 this year. So that means last year. Here last year will be considered as this year. So last year is actually 2,000 approximately, because it's an approximation, not the exact value. So 2,000 more than previous year. Similarly, we will calculate month to date cars sold. So for month to date cars sold, this will be month to date cars sold, and here we'll replace it with month to date value. So let's change. A little bit annoying, but yeah, we have to deal with it. And now this was sales difference, this was average price difference, and this one will be cars sold difference. So this one will be cars sold difference, and once we calculate cars sold difference, we will add it here, and quickly I will change it. So here you can see obviously summary, but here it is showing 3,000. So if we actually want to see that exact value, so we can show none, and now this will be the exact answer, cars sold difference. So obviously it's positive, so it's good, but in some month or for some month it can be negative. So that's why we have to create this color coding here. So after calculating this, as we created for sales difference color, we have to create cars sold difference color, and if car sold difference is greater than 0, like if it is positive then green, otherwise red. And then here also we have to change. A lot of repetitive stuff is there, but this is how projects are done. And here sales, instead of sales difference color, we will select from measures table cars sold difference color. So if it is this, let's try to use some other, well, I'm just giving an example. Let's say this. Obviously here it is not negative, but you can check in different months, and if it is negative it will show. So in no month it is negative, and that's a good thing for company. And now similarly, finally, as we created YOY sales growth, so this one will be cars sold growth. So we'll create another measure here. So we will just click here and we'll create a new measure. So new measure, and this will be cars sold growth. And in cars sold growth, now you will be able to see what is this. And here we will just replace it with it. So YOY cars sold growth, and it is 0.25. And as we did for earlier, we have to change it back to percentage as well. Now it will be changed to percentage, and it is 25.57% growth from previous year. So now you have your KPIs ready, and this is page 1. We'll call it sales overview or sales insights, whatever you want to call it. So because it's a sales overview, so I will just put it here like it's given. Let's add some text here as a heading, and we'll insert a text box, and we'll write sales overview. I'll align it to center, make it bold. Let's use around 14 pixel size. Sales overview, like this. Now, not this, I can put it over here as our heading. And once we have selected this, so I will select a very light color for it. Light blue will be good. And in effects I'll remove the background. So now this is our heading, sales overview. So because we are going to create 5 dashboards, this is part 1 of 5. So we have to do this. So we provide data analytics classes online data analytics classes are there. If you want to learn Power BI, if you want to learn Tableau, if you want to learn Python, data science, anything, so you can contact us for live classes. We also provide demo, so you will be able to understand these concepts in a better way. Now moving ahead with our tutorial. So now we have, what we have done so far is we have solved three questions. Now comes the part of visual questions like year to date sales monthly trend. Okay, we want to show the monthly trend of year to date sales. So we can use a line chart, and in the line chart we can show a monthly trend actually. So in order to show this monthly trend, we have to put something on x-axis, and that will be month. So we can drag month here, and on y-axis it is asking to year to date sales. So we, what, here we have that year to date sales. So year to date total sales, this one we can put on y-axis. Okay, and you can see December, November to January how it is changing. So this is showing the data month wise, and here if you will see on x-axis we have values. So from here, like, these values are given, so you can pick their color, you can change these values, make them bold, whatever you want to do, you can select it from here. So this is by month, and what we can do, we can also show price here. So I just showed you how to do that, but you can show price also, so you will be able to see that according to month it is showing that. Now obviously it is showing on the basis of monthly value. Like if the value is high, so it is automatically sorting it in that order. So if you have to see month order, so we can create a new column. By mistake I clicked a new measure, and that column can be called month number, and we can just use the month function and date. So in our calendar table, so we have to find the month. So in our calendar table, I don't know why it was not showing there, we just use date. So this will give month in the integer form. So if you will see here, you will see that January will be 1 and to 12. So here if you just replace it with the month number, you will be able to see from month 1 to month 12. So just for analysis, I will replace it with week. So now you can see it is showing weekly data. Since we have more space here, so I'm going to use this space because we have to create three graphs here. So we will use as much area as we can. Obviously, I will resize this as well. And now let's style this. So here you will see markers which you can enable. You can enable data labels, you can enable series labels if you want. Then you also, obviously we can change it to area chart, so it will appear like this, area chart. Okay, and this is showing sum of price by week. So we can write something like weekly trend of sales. So we can say weekly trend of sales. I've just altered the question. If you want to show monthly, you can do that as well. And here we can use this. I'm doing this because in property, in effects actually, I'm going to disable the background. So now it will appear like this, and now we have to use some color that is properly visible, and this will guide you in a styling also, like where to find everything. So now here you can see line, only one series is used. So as a color we are going to use a light color. Okay, or maybe this one will be good. Shade area, like area transparency 60%, 40%, 80%, whatever you want to go with. Now these numbers are also not visible, so these numbers are available at data label in values. So we will select light colors, so, and this is probably very bright, so we'll select this color. These are axis values, so here in y-axis values we can select some color, so now these will be visible. So now this is weekly trend of sales, and this is heading, so we can align this heading in center. You will be able to see divider also. If you want to show a divider, you can show that. Next, here we can go to general tab, effects, visual border. Let's enable a very light color border here, and in this border we are going to enable some rounded corners, so we will do that. Now this is showing weekly trend of sales data, and you can see how it shows the graph. When we are designing charts like this, let's say if I go to mobile layout, so obviously we have to fit these things. So if let's say we are putting this, so for mobile layout obviously we can do this, but like we have to separately create that. The thing is here, one more thing what we can do when we are selecting charts like this, that in general in properties, position, we can see some advanced options. Make sure responsive is on, or maintain layer order is on, these type of things, and this is something I will deal later also. So now this is weekly trend of sales, and since we have calculated everything using total sales, so we can select total sales also. So we will use total sales and actually replace it with total sales to use that value. So like you can do that as well. Now here you can see a maximum point on the chart. This was also given in the original file, so I'm explaining this. So if you can see, so how it is being calculated, obviously max all selected. So max x, what it does, it selects the largest numerical value or largest string that results from evaluating an expression for each row. So and all selected is whatever values are selected, like it can have a table name or a column name. So because we are selecting weeks, so returns all the rows in the table or all the values in a column, because we are selecting a week, so it will return all the unique values in a column, and it will ignore any filters. So if so max x, so first of all max x looks for where to find that max value, so that it will look for all selected table. So this one will be the table, and expression will be total sales. So find out the maximum value of total sales, and if that value is equal to total sales, then give the maximum selected value, otherwise give blank. So if we will not give blank, it will create a line. So if it is maximum value, it is a single value, then just show that value. It's basically saying that we want to show a single point on the data. So now it will be shown, and we can go to legend and disable it. So this will actually represent a maximum value. Okay, so and because this line represents a maximum value, so if you will go to line and select this, you can select line style, you can select stroke width, color, you can select maximum point on chart as some different color that you know that is properly visible, maximum point. And here you have markers, like for this you can select a different kind of marker, like I square marker, and you can increase its size also. So this is showing us a maximum sales value, and this is dynamic, like if February is selected or December is selected, so this one will be a dynamic value, it's not static. If we have to keep it static, so we can find the maximum value and just put it there, but we have to make it dynamic. So this is weekly trend of sales. Next is sales by body style. If you want to show year to date, you can select that column. I am just selecting total sales here by body style. To find out or to show total sales by body style, we can use a donut chart. So I'll just use this here, and here we can just replace it to donut chart. Here I will replace everything, not this, because it's sum of price. Or we can actually add total sales here, and instead of week we have to select the body style, and you know that body style will be available in this sheet itself. So now it is showing total sales by body style, and here we will write total sales by body style, and now you can actually see which body style is generating more sales. Like for body style SUV, we have highest value, and because we copied the chart, so legend will be off. So now we can enable the legend, but now you can see legend is somehow not visible. To show that, we can show legend text and select some color that is properly visible, like this color. So now this is total sales by body style. Let's copy this, and we have to answer another question, and that question is total price by body style and color. So now it is asking total price by body style but also by color as well. So because total price is coming, so here I will just select the YTD total sales. So here I'll just change slightly, and that was asked in the question also. YTD total sales by body style, and now here it is asking by both body style and color. To answer these kind of questions, I prefer a ribbon chart, because in a ribbon chart we can select two different categories. For example, one is body style and one is color. So in legend we will bring color, and here you will see color. So let's adjust the axis. First of all, Y axis, let's select like this, and sorry, X axis, and here Y axis we will select values like this. So now it will be properly visible. I will explain what is this showing also, but let's copy the question first of all. So total price by body style and color, like it is showing the total price of car by body style and color, and we will replace total sales by total price. Total price will be sum, so sorry, price, we'll select this, and sum of price, obviously not going to make too much of difference. What is this ribbon chart showing us is that for each type of body style, for example SUV, pale color is the highest, pale white color is the highest sold color, you can see, because it is always on top. Then comes SUV, then comes the black color, and then comes red color. So if you want, you can actually color them also, like you can change these colors. For example, we have columns, let's say black. So for black we can actually select a black color. For red we can actually select a red color. In more color we can select a dark red color. So if you want, you can do that. For pale white you can do, but since we are going with the theme colors, that's why I'm just going with whatever colors are given, and this is something that we usually do when we deal with colors. Next question is, it is asking cars sold by dealer region. So like total number of cars sold by the dealer region. So for that I have a shape map. I will first see in shape map whether we are able to properly answer the question. I'll copy the formatting here. In shape map is asking region, so we will select region. So dealer region is given. Before that I have to see how it is given. In car SQL it is given. So you can see it is given Austin, Scottsdale, Middletown, etc. So actually in a shape map, if a state name was given, it could have been a better thing. But anyways, we'll change it to a map chart, a simple map chart, where we will use dealer region as a location, and then in bubble size we have to tell the sales value. So YTD sales. So here we will add this, and now you can see on the basis of bubble chart you will be able to see that. Now we will simply style it. Like you can see we have map setting, we can select a dark map, and this will show regions, and you can see different regions and their actual values. So we can easily reposition it also. So now these bubble, and we can enable category labels here. So to see those regions also, like Austin is given, Aurora is given, so from different states they have, and you can increase their size if you want. So you can reposition it in your favorite position, and that's how you can add. So because region is an important thing for us, so this is something that we can add in the filter also, so that we can analyze the data. So region we will add in the filter. Let's say we want to analyze by color also. So color we can add, make we can add, model we can add. These type of things are very important for analysis. So color, and then make, which is probably given in this table. So not this, company, and model. So we can add this, and later we are going to select the filters as per requirement, but this is how actually you can add the filters. So now this question is also answered, and then it is asking total sales by body, style, and engine. So now as you can see we have the Sankey chart search result here on appstore.microsoft. So if you have Microsoft account, like you can log in here and you can search for Sankey chart. So this type of chart will appear, and from here you can click on get it now. So it will be downloaded as a Power BI visual. So here you can see it is downloaded, and this is how it appears, like a file. So I am going to now upload it here. To add a visual, you can click get more visuals or import a visual from a file. We'll click here and then just upload that Power BI Viz file. So you can see this is Power BI Viz file. We'll upload it, and it will come here, import successful, and let's add it here. Let's see what we can bring from here. Now it is asking what is your source, what is your destination, and what is your weight, and what is source labels. So question is asking by body style, right? By body style and engine. So let's say from source we want to start is body style. We will start as source. Then it is asking what is your destination. So we want to start from body style and go up to engine, like what type of engine is there. So now you can see it is showing these type of values. and then it is asking weight information. So obviously for weight we have a numerical value, and that one will be YTD total sales. So now you can see for different values, for example for hard top, so we have two different type of engines, like overhead cam shaft, and we have double A overhead camshaft. So for these two type of engines, you can see how it is showing us the YTD sales value, like how much it is for hard top, how much it is for passenger, and so on. So, and you can see for SUV, because the total sales value is higher, so 99.89, then it is hatchback, then it is sedan, then it is passenger, and then hardtop. So it arranges like this. So here you can see which one is higher. Here this one is higher, so because it has 194.33 million, and this one has 176.85 million. One thing that I did, like if I go to effects and disable the background, so it will appear like that. And obviously we have to readjust some colors. So first of all, title color, so let's try to copy the formatting here. So obviously it is going to apply something. In this visual setting you have data labels. The data labels color is something that should be properly visible, so we have selected that. Display units is auto, so like you can show in thousands also, and this will be available once you have, once you will hover over them, they will be visible properly. So if we, let's keep it millions. There is one more option here, post display. So if you want to, and if we actually zoom it, then you can see, because we have removed the background, but if the background is there, then when you will zoom it, it will be properly visible. Now here we have links. So from hard top to overhead, if you want to give different colors, let's say this one, then from this to this, let's say we will give this color. Okay, from this to this, let's say we will give this color. So just to make your graph prettier, you can do these type of settings, obviously not needed. Let's say we use this color, so you can spend some time. From SUV it is yellow, so we will use yellow color. From hatchback to sedan it is blue, so we will use some kind of blue color here. That's it. So this way you will be able to do that. And SUV to this, so let's select dark yellow. So this is our chart, and it is showing YTD total sales by body style and engine. Now in title we have this, and we have a divider. So I will just enable the divider, because I have enabled it in other charts also. So this is part 1. Let's say we have created another part. This is, let's say, duplicate. So here what we can do, we can insert and some kind of shape. You can see we have arrows, we have buttons. So like we can add a right arrow. Okay, what if we are adding a big right arrow here, and in a style, it is not giving us option. So actually we don't have any text. This is line color. Let's use this line color and increase its weight, because I just kept this area. So, and now I will fill this like this. Okay, in on this arrow as an action, I can now select page navigation and next page. So we are on part 1, so we will take it to part 2. Okay, and this one will be part 2 of 5, which obviously it will have more questions, it will have different type of questions, and then from part 2 we will create another arrow to part 3 and so on. So this is how it is going to work. So now if I actually click here, you can see it is taking me to part 2 because we have only 2 of them so far, so we can add a back button also. So we can add a go back button here, so we can enable. So in the last one we will add this, so it will be go back, and a style will be icon, and same weight 5, and color, let's say for this color, just experimenting obviously. So now it will be like this, you click here, you went back, you click here. So this, or you can use different icons. So this is part 1. It is going to be an interesting part. You can see we have created so many measures here. So all these measures, all this code will be shared with you. You must have many questions. You can ask them in the comment section below. So we will be happy to answer. So if you have any feedback, please share. It will encourage us. So, and actually these questions and everything that I got, actually these were in the GitHub file, but I just tried to explain it to everyone so that you can understand, and created a different kind of design so that you will, so that you can understand how to start everything from scratch and answer a question. So I hope you liked the video. I hope it was useful for you. If it was, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, share it with your friends. Thanks once again. Have a nice day and see you in part 2.